to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll discuss in brief about the important concept of the remaining 3 chapters, that is light, the human eye in the colorful world, and the sources of energy. First, we should take up the chapter light. Under this, you will study about the concept of reflection and refraction. These two concepts you may be familiar. You might have studied in your previous classes also. Once again, we will recall about these two concepts. Next is about the laws of reflection. So there are 2 laws of reflection we will study here. The next one is about the spherical mirrors. So what do you mean by spherical mirrors and the types of spherical mirrors? So there are 2 types. One is concave mirror and another one is convex mirror. And the next concept is differences between concave and convex mirrors. So in examination, you may get to differentiate between concave and convex mirrors for 2-mark question. So this is one of the important topic from the point of your exam. And the most important and compulsory question you get from this chapter is about the image formation by concave and convex mirrors. That is about the ray diagrams. They will give the position of the object and ask you to write the ray diagram of that particular position. For that particular position, you have to write the image formation by making use of ray diagram. So this is very important question you may get for 2 marks or even for 1 mark. And the next one is the applications or uses of concave mirrors, where we all make use of concave and convex mirrors. We will study here. Next one is mirror formula and magnification. Again, this is one of the most important and frequently asked question in your main exam. So here they may ask you to write the mirror formula and numerical problems you can expect under this topic. One numerical problem will be there from this topic. They may ask you to find the magnification of a lens. Next is, what do you mean by refractive index? And you have to remember here the refractive index of some of the materials. So they may ask for 1 mark or even in the MCQ. And the next one is power of a lens. So they may ask, define the power of a lens or find out the power of a lens. So they may even ask you to write the formula to find out the power of a lens. So again, this is the important concept under this topic. And the next chapter is the human eye and the colorful world. So now we shall see what are the important topics that are covered under this chapter. First is different parts of human eye and its functions. So this topic you will study in brief here. In biology, you will study in detail. So what are the important functions of the different parts of human eye? Next is about power of accommodation. What do you mean by power of accommodation? You will study in detail. And the next one is defects of vision and their correction. So how to correct the defects? So they have given the 3 conditions here, or the 3 defects. One is myopia, hypermetropia and presbyopia. So they may ask you to write the condition of myopia and how to correct it. Or they may ask you, what do you mean by hypermetropia, or differentiate between myopia and hypermetropia. So this is one of the important concept or topic you may expect in your examination. Next one is about the refraction of light. How does the refraction of light takes place through a prism? Next is dispersion. What do you mean by the term dispersion? And how do the dispersion takes place through a glass prism? So this you will study by a simple activity. Next is about the atmospheric refraction. How does the atmospheric refraction take place? What do you mean by the term atmospheric refraction? We will study under this topic. Next is about twinkling of stars. We all know that the stars twinkle during night time. But what is the reason behind it? We would have not thought about that. But here you will study the reason behind the twinkling of stars. And the next one is advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. So what is the reason for advanced sunrise, or what is the reason for the delayed sunset? Why the sunset takes place lately? So you will find out the reason for this under this topic. Next is about the scattering of light. What do you mean by the term scattering? How does the scattering take place? You will study under this topic. And the next one is about the Tyndall effect. Again, about this Tyndall effect, you will study in detail in chemistry. Here in physics, you will study in brief. What do you mean by Tyndall effect? How does it occur? And one more concept is color of the sun at sunrise and sunset. So we all have seen sunrise and sunset. So sometimes it may be orangish red, or sometimes it may be yellowish red. So but what is the reason behind this? You will study under this topic. From this chapter, you may expect the reasoning type question, that is the reason for twinkling of stars, advanced sunrise and delayed sunset, color of the sun at sunrise and sunset. So these are some of the reasoning questions you may expect in your exams for 2 or 3 marks. And the next chapter is sources of energy. In this chapter, you will study some of the sources of energy. Under this chapter, the first concept is what is a good source of energy. When you want to say some source of energy is good enough, what are the reasons? You will study under this chapter. Next is conventional sources of energy. What do you mean by conventional sources of energy? And some of the types of conventional sources of energy you will study. That is about the fossil fuels, thermal power plants and hydro power plants. Next one is biomass. How biomass is produced. What are the uses of biomass? You will study under this topic. Next is about wind energy. You all are familiar with the wind energy and windmills. Once again, you will recall in this chapter. And next one is alternate sources of energy or man-made sources of energy. So there are some natural sources of energy like solar energy, wind energy. Other than that, what are the man-made sources of energy? What are those and how it will be helpful? You will study under the alternate sources of energy. Next is about solar energy. You all are familiar with it. Under this solar energy, you will study about the solar cooker. How the solar cooker is designed and how does it work. Next is tidal energy, wave energy and ocean thermal energy. How do these energies are produced? From where we get these energies? How are they helpful in the modern society? We will study under this topic. Next is geothermal and nuclear energy. So what are the consequences we face from the geothermal and nuclear energy and what are its advantages? You will study under this topic. And the last concept in this chapter is environmental consequences. How do the different types of energies have impact on the environment and how to conserve and preserve to the future generation? You will study under this topic. So these are some of the important concepts that come under the sources of energy. In this video, I have briefly explained the important concepts under the chapter Light, the human eye in the colorful world, and the sources of energy. I hope you find this video useful. If you find it useful, please subscribe to my channel and also share this video among your friends and family. Until next time, take care, bye and see you.